again, everyone, wherever and whenever you are right now. My name is Nancy Bliss, and I'd like to welcome you to the third Inside Insights interview with Laura Lee Mystica, co-author of Cryogenetics 2, which is a manual on how to overtly and covertly regain command. Before Laura Lee starts talking about our new spy versus spy birdie allies and some of her bathtub revelations, which I think are going to bubble up into a revolution, I'd like to start with a quick clear up of something that was a bit confusing that came to our attention from the first interview about Laura Lee's cosmic co-author, Hal, the one who apparently has no last name. He is not an AssEnded Master. Seems like Laura Lee was referring to him as that, but it was at the time she may have thought that. You have to remember it was early 90s when she was still in the New Age cage, but he is not that. It was just referring to that time. Okay, so Laura Lee, I'm going to let you.
Yes, well, and thank you for bringing that up. As you know, it's funny. That was right at the beginning of the second interview, and was it the second one? I'm getting confused now. No, maybe it was the first one. And as soon as I said it, I thought, that's going to be confusing. It was kind of a joke. And that's exactly how it was when I was in the New Cage movement. That's what I thought he was. And Hal is anything but an AssEnded Master. That would be that would be a real joke to call him that. And I really like that you said he had no last name, because I've kind of thought about that too. I think that's really funny. So that should clear that up. Hal is not one of those. He's like way, way, way different than that. He is like, when you read cryogenetics, you'll understand who and what Hal exactly is. And we don't want to do a spoiler alert, so you'll have to read the book to really get the full impact of Hal and what his amazing job and interfaces to what we're doing here in this hologram right now. So I think, let's see, on the last interview, we were talking about how there were these evil, nasty, horrible spy versus spy birds that had hatched. And they were, there was 31 that had hatched and 712 waiting to hatch. And they were like extremely evil. They could have messed us up really, really, really bad. And being a 9.8 threat, I mean, if the D monster was a 10, you know that's pretty darn bad. So after those were, we found those and we got rid of them and their eggs. That was on the 13th. But on the 12th, we had just done the final rescue mission to rescue all of our personnel in the hologram. And I was unaware, I had help. I didn't do it alone. It was a huge mind sweep, like I called it before. And I was unaware of everything because it was such a huge operation that had been rescued and taken back to rehab. And so it's interesting about the spy versus spy birds. On January the 18th, one of our HRT people had sent me this video, and it was, I'll put a picture of it there so you can see it, of this spy versus spy bird. And it's, as I was looking at it, I just got this real affinity to this being that looked like the one in this picture. And I thought, wow, what's up with that? Why am I feeling these not just warm fuzzies, but a extremely strong heart and soul connection? And I'm like, that's really weird. Well, I did some more digging on that, and I found out that there were 3,000 of our benevolent spy versus spy birds that had been rescued on that mission, on that final mission. I did not know that. And they have been rehabbed and they are ready for duty. And I've been working with them, and some of our other HR team members have been working with them, and they are amazing. One thing about them is that just like on the cartoon, they're virtually indestructible. It's like you think you blew them up, and then 10 minutes later there they are again. It's like you cannot destroy them. And they are very, very, very smart and can calculate all possibilities of responses. And they can go into the future and know what the Dark Lords are going to do, and so they can preempt them. So this is a major, I don't even know, I'm trying to think of the word for it, but this is a game changer of monumental degrees. It's just off the charts. And they, this is one thing I found out just a couple of days ago, is that somehow these spy versus spy birds are being operated from outside the hologram. So it's almost like playing a video game. The beings behind them are operating them outside the hologram. And I think that's why they're indestructible. That's how they were created, so that they could be like the masters of spy operations. And we have them on our side. This should make everybody just, jump for joy and clap and sleep well tonight, because when you start working with them and really connecting, you will be able to, when you're coming face to face with some Dark Lords, you will know how to respond to them, because they are always calculating, right? The Dark Lords. Well, these spy versus spy birds can out-calculate them. Okay, so this is a major coup for us on taking down the Dark Lords and bringing truth and justice back to the hologram. And they are so stealth. When you start working with them, you can just sense that they just do this undercover stuff. Just kind of I would just suggest, and I'll put some links to the cartoons so that you can just kind of get a little idea of how kind of sneaky they are and fun. One thing that I found is that they're very, very funny, and they're kind. They're very kind, benevolent, unless you're an asshole, and then they can be really snooky. They can be like really snarky. Okay. So whenever I look at them, I just, it's almost like I want to cry. I just want to hug them, and I want to align with them. And they have been, like I say, helping a lot of us on the hologram rescue team. We've only known about them for a few days. So if you feel like you're in the right mindset and heart space, that you kind of have to be in alignment with them to work with them, because this isn't for people that are just dipping their toe in. This is for those of us who are on the front lines, taking on the dark lords, like every day. So for those of you who are doing that kind of work, just know that we have these allies, and you can call on them and start connecting with them and getting their assistance and help. And one thing that I thought was really funny is that I had an affinity, an extra affinity for, they were called white spy and black spy. And I kind of like the black one better for, maybe it's because I kind of have a, I don't know, knee-jerk reaction to white light and anything white, because I know that, like it says in cryogenetics, that you can hide things in white light. You have to have clear light. And so I think maybe that was part of it, but I just had kind of a affinity for the black one. And then I was reading on some of the comments on the on the video where some people said, does anybody else want the black one, want black spy to win more than the white one? And apparently it's been tallied up, and and black spy does win over the white one. I thought that was funny. And then another one.
The black guy, he's the one who's joke.
Yes, that was my next thing, is that they have names.
Oh.
Spoiler alert. The white spy's name is Dagger, and the black spy's name is Joke. And when I saw that, I thought, oh my gosh, this is so Hallish. It's like, how much more in your face can you get than the black spy being named Joke? We know that Hal had a heck of a lot to do with these birds being in our life right now at this time, in such a critical time in our missions here. So I will post these YouTube links on there, and you can watch season 1 and season 2. So do you have any questions or anything on that, or comments, Nancy?
No, it's just the timing is perfect, and Hal is always the H in his name probably sounds for hilarious. And he uses things we can relate to. He's just funny. Yeah, I'm just blown away by the timing. It's just so great when the dark side is going a little nuts. As you said, they're fighting like wildcats at this point, since their funds have been choked off. And so it's just perfect.
Well, I thought so too, and it seemed like right, the timing. It's almost like it wouldn't have been. I don't know. That a lot of times, timing is very, very relevant in things that we're doing in our missions here, and this was right on target to have them come right as we did the sweep and got all of our personnel out of their traps. It just makes me sleep better at night. I just get really happy, and I've been sleeping really well at night lately. So this is part of it. And so another thing I wanted to talk about was bathtub revelations. Now, I seem to get a lot of really good stuff when I'm in the tub. Maybe it's because there's no distractions, and I usually take a little notebook with me. It's funny, I did that a few days ago, and I got some really, really cool stuff, and I thought, oh yeah. And then my notebook fell in the tub as I was getting out. And I'm like, no. So, so I get it out and I'm trying to dry it out. And I bring it back on my desk, and I've kind of got the pages open. It's just a little tiny notebook. It's like a 2.5 by 4. It's just a little guy. So, and it had other notes in it, and I was trying to like find in blank pages, and I've only got candles in there, so it's really hard to see too. So it's kind of weird. So when I did it, I thought, okay, I've got to be sure and mark this. So I put a big old star with a circle around it on the top right corner of the 2 pages that I had written my notes on. And when I got out, they were gone. And it's not when I say gone, I don't mean that the water made it so I couldn't see it. I could see the rest of them, and I wrote it in a black pen. I have looked through that little notebook like 50 times, and those notes are gone. Now, the good news is when I got out of the tub and while it was drying, I thought, okay, I better hurry and write down what just happened, because if I don't, I'll forget. And I totally would. Like the next day, I wouldn't even know what it was. So I do have that in my notes, and at some point in time, I'll be able to talk about that. I just can't talk about it now, what it was, but it was way cool stuff, and I can see why maybe the notes got wiped out, but I just thought it was so weird. And like I say, I've been through the notebook like 50 times. It's just not there. So, yeah, that's kind of weirdness that is happening here. But then, just let's see, was it last night? I can't remember. I think it was last night. When I was in there, I got the message, and this is something that I think would be really good for everybody that's listening to this that feels like they're on a mission, and they need some, a little pat on the back. But what I got from Hal was to write down 5 things that you feel the Dark Lords do not want you to do, and then do it. Okay? And then Hal said to prioritize it 1 through 5. 1 as the most threatening thing, you put that at the top of the list. And then as you are doing these things that are on your list, call on our allies for help. And this can be really fun. When you look at this and you go, okay, this is what they don't want me to do, it gives you the spunkiness and the courage to say, by golly, I'm going to do this. I'm not going to let them stand in my way. And it will give you it's like more than a pat on the back. For me, it makes me more determined. Like my determination meter has gone way up after I wrote this. And I know I sent this message to our HRT team, and I didn't even ask for their list, and everybody wrote back their list, and I'm like, you go, kids. This is awesome. And so I would encourage everyone to just kind of sit back and look at that. And I got to tell you, one of the number 5 thing on my list, which, you think, okay, how can that be, part of your big mission here? But it was to get more chickens and ducks. I've only got 1 duck left, and she needs a friend. And our chickens are getting older, and they're leaving us. And so I was getting that was part of my mission, and that would really be a big jab to the Dark Lords. And as I thought of it, I thought, that is true, because for one thing, it makes me happy. Every day I get up and I go out and I hang with the chickens and the ducks. My happy meter goes up. I unplug for a while from all of the the crazy drama, insanity things that are going on. And you need to unplug. Like every day, you need to take time, several times a day, and just unplug. Because if you don't, your nervous system gets overloaded and your efficiency level goes way down. So I can really see why that was a very important um, item to put on my top 5 item list of what the Dark Lords do not want me to do. So I just thought I would tell you about that so you won't think, oh, that's, if I put that on there, that's kind of stupid. We'll just kind of sit with it for a minute, see how it feels in your gut, and then you'll know if it's supposed to go on this list or not. And I tell you, and then what I would do is, write it down and put it on a sticky note or heck, put it on a big poster or whatever, and look at it every day and go, okay, I'm going to do some stuff on this list every day, and I am not going to let the Dark Lords tell me what to do, and I'm not going to be their bitch. Just like you're not going to be fierce bitch, you're not going to be the Dark Lord's bitch. And if they don't want you to do the things on this list, by golly, you better start be doing them, right? So that was like a big revelation, and when you look at it, it kind of makes you smile and smirk. And the Spy versus Spy birdies are, of course, going to want to be all over on this one to help you out. So just kind of work with this, and I think if we all collectively start doing the things on our list that the Dark Lords are scared of, you can imagine how scared we're going to make them. Oh dear. And how much quicker we're going to get things cleaned up here. And so I was just kind of excited about that. And so, Nancy, do you have any comments or anything on that?
Well, I just remember my first one was to be happy and laugh at things, even things that aren't necessarily funny.
Yes, and
kind was my second one.
And hasn't that be happy in spite of things, hasn't that helped you already today? When you look back on it, it's like things that could have dragged you down and gotten you into despair and scared. How have you felt today with that item in mind for how you're going to be?
Well, one thing I thought about the dark side, they want us to be obedient, so I wrote down disobedient, but I'm not sure if I was disobedient today, but
well, by being happy and humorous, you're being disobedient. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Right. Right. You're right. You're right. Any of them would be disobedient, being brave, kind, not what they want. So.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yes, we can thank them for, helping us out. We just do the opposite.
Exactly. Exactly. And I kind of thought of this, a little bit, but it just came really brief and to the point. It's like, okay, write down 5 things that the Dark Lords do not want you to do, and then do it. I'm like, well, that's pretty brief and to the point. Yeah, I can do that. And a lot of these things don't have to be long and drawn out. You can be clear and concise, and you just do it. And so, yeah, I just wanted to share that. I thought that was pretty darn exciting. We've had a lot of excitement going on lately, and that's just.
I was thinking this would be something good to add to our psychic attack list, because we do have a section on prevention.
Yes.
Looking at your top 5 list and prevent going into a dark hole with the Dark Lord.
Yes. Now, and one thing that Nancy has been doing for us is, since the book Cryogenetics 2 came out that had a list of our allies. We've got a lot of new ones since that happened. And so in a few weeks or whenever we can get to it, we'll be posting that so you can see who our new helpers are and who's got our back, and so that you can start working with them too. And the list keeps growing, so it's something that's going to have to keep being added upon.
Yeah.
But we'll try to get this secondary list up on the website within a week or two, so that you can see who some of these new helpers are, and they're amazing. Like,
and we also have 4 genies that turned, Jinn that turned into genies.
That is like way cool. That is so not something the Dark Lords would like.
No. Who are they going to call on to make deals with?
Yeah, that's right.
So, I mean, we have that, but then we have the enormous ones, like the birdie agents, and, oh, geez. You know, some of them are, I'm just looking through them. Well, anyway, I counted 13.
Well, and the number always changes, so just know that there are, for everybody, just know that we're working on it, and it's like daily new ones or new helpers are coming in, and we're just, it's like this snowball is going faster and faster and gaining momentum and getting bigger and bigger, and I'm just really seeing it and feeling it, and I know a lot of you out there are doing that too. Yes, it's hard. There's a lot of crap going on. There is. But if you look at how much momentum we're getting, it gives you the inspiration to continue on. And one thing that I know has helped me, and in fact, somebody on the Hologram Rescue team posted this for us to to remember, was the video "Remember Who You Are," and that really is inspiring. And one of the girls said that she cries when she watches it, and it has that effect on me too, especially when you see the dragon there. So and just know that you got your dragon there all the time if you're a first wave indigo. And for people on the cosmic cleanup crew, you have your people too, and who knows, you may have some dragons too. So yes, this was meant for first wave indigos, but cosmic cleanup crew has some really strong allies for them too. And these allies that we have for our indigos can also be called upon from cosmic cleanup crew people too. And if it's their if you call on one of these people on the list, and for some reason they can't or shouldn't help you at the time, they will help you find someone that will. So it's not like you're going to be like left stranded out in nowhere land. They will help you, and that's really important to know, I think, because I don't want cosmic cleanup crew to feel like they're left out, because they're not. We need you too. We need everybody. We need all of us that have the ability to step up and help out now, because now is it's showtime. That's what Hal's been saying. It's showtime, and we need to get our game on and get going and have a good time doing it, which I think a lot of us are. Remembering our humor certainly helps, and these spy birdies, they are funny. They crack jokes. They're kind of like Hal, but they're really cute. When you see this picture, you just go, "Oh, how cute! I want to hang out with them." So, so yeah. So I think that's about all I have for today. It looks like we're at the half-hour mark, almost. And so, do you have anything to say before we sign off, Nancy?
Just that there are some really big things that we want to talk about, especially next time we might take a whole half hour with something that has been in place since the beginning of time that has recently been destroyed. And it's so big, you guys won't want to miss our next show, our fourth one. So I guess we'll just say goodbye and thank you all for listening. And again, watch for our future insights with Laura Lee as we move onward and forward. As always, thank you.
Okay, goodbye, everybody. See you soon, whenever that is. Bye-bye.